Every failed attempt to lose weight has one thing in common. They skip the steps that your body actually needs to burn fat and keep it off. That's why 95% of diets fail. They tell you, slash the calories, cut out entire food groups, double your workouts, and then wonder why your weight either doesn't budge or it actually goes back up. The truth is, fat loss only works when you take baby steps in the right direction, steps that are grounded in how our body was designed to work and how your mind actually forms habits that last. So if you've ever felt stuck and unsure where to begin, wishing someone would show you the right steps to take for long-lasting fat loss, then strap in, because I'm about to share the secret that 95% of people miss. Now, the starting point for lasting fat loss isn't diet math or exercise routines, it's building health first. Because when your body is healthy, the fat can finally just be released and come off. And the organ that makes or breaks your health is your liver. The liver is the body's main filter. It's the hardest working organ in your body. Every toxin that you're exposed to, every bit of sugar, every glass of alcohol, it all has to pass through there. So when the filter is congested, your body can't burn fat. You can cut calories, you can push yourself harder at the gym, but as long as that filter is backed up, your body will resist fat loss. That's why the very first baby step that I recommend is simply starting your morning with lemon water. Why lemon water? Lemons stimulate bile-flow, which helps the liver clear out toxins. They also prime your metabolism to start the day in fat-burning mode. It's not a magic fix, but it's a small, consistent step that gives your body's main filter support. That's exactly why this is the first baby step to lasting weight loss. Not just because it's an easy and effective first step to lose weight, but because it does more than support your liver. Also is an easy way to start shifting your identity. This is another important part of the philosophy at the core of all my recommendations. Fat loss habits will never last unless they're paired with an identity shift. You have to stop seeing yourself as someone who's sick or stuck or diagnosed and start seeing yourself as a healthy person with healthy habits that you like and love to do. And that identity shift begins with the smallest actions. It builds momentum. When you pour that glass of lemon water each morning, you're not just supporting your liver, you are reinforcing your new identity. You're saying to yourself, I'm the kind of person who drinks lemon water to help my liver first thing in the morning. That identity shift is what will drive your new fat loss habits and make the changes permanent. Without it, any weight you lose will likely come back, just like it does for the vast majority of people who try to lose it by dieting. Now, lemon water is a great start, but no amount of it can undo the damage if you keep polluting your liver every day. Your body knows how to heal, but it can only do that once you stop feeding it the very things that are keeping it sick. That's why the next baby step is to start cutting out the foods that are clogging your liver and preventing your body from burning fat. Now, you don't have to cut all of them at once. The goal here is progress, not perfection. Start by just selecting one or two and then removing them from your diet. Then when you're ready, move on to the next. If you try to go cold turkey and cut out every single unhealthy food all at once, you're almost guaranteed to fail. So instead, ease into it. Get your body used to going without the toxic treats that it's gotten so accustomed to. So examples of foods to cut out include refined carbohydrates and sugars like white bread, pasta, tortillas, crackers, bagels, pastries, cereals, rice cakes, granola, candy, soda, chips. These are all the highly refined carbohydrates that are sabotaging your weight loss journey. You also want to start cutting out any foods that contain seed oils. Canola, soybean, corn, safflower. Just identifying these oils makes a massive difference on the congestion of your liver. They're hidden in all kinds of different foods: fried foods, packaged snacks, baked goods, condiments, dressings, processed meats, frozen foods, and then most restaurant food in general. We are removing the highly processed foods from our diet. That is the goal here. Next category in these highly processed foods are artificial ingredients. Sucralose, one of the biggest #1 hidden health food ingredients. You can check out that video below. I can put it in the description. If you have not seen that video, what it does to the body is shocking. Aspartame, that's also known as equal. Saccharin, which is sweet and low. High fructose corn syrup, which is not an artificial ingredient, but it might as well be for how processed it is. Sodas, candies, sauces, breads have this in it. All of that has to be processed directly by your liver. So this bogs down the liver faster than almost any other ingredient. Zero sugar sodas, zero sugar flavored waters, all of these foods with artificial sweeteners that are light or diet drinks all have to go. We also want to pay attention to the color of those foods because they contain the toxic dyes like red 40, yellow 5, blue number 1. These are common in candies and cereals and drinks and are starting to be banned by our government and other governments of the world because they're so toxic. MSG, monosodium glutamate, often in soups and sauces and fast foods. Preservatives like BHA, BHT, and sodium benzoate, which are found in chips, cereals, and sodas. And then finally, processed proteins. Hot dogs, deli meats, chicken nuggets, fish sticks, protein bars, and low-quality protein powders. Each time you remove one of these groups or just a singular food in these groups, you're not just cleaning up your food, you're removing interference so that your body can finally do what it's designed to do: heal, restore, and finally start burning up fat reserves. Every time you make that choice, you're also reinforcing your new identity as someone who makes healthy decisions, who likes healthy decisions, as opposed to someone trapped by cravings or by bad habits. So now that you've started cleaning up what goes into your body, the next step is just as important: giving your body the space to process it. Here's the problem. Most people are eating from the moment that they wake up until right before bed. A little breakfast, a mid-morning snack, lunch, something sweet in the afternoon, whether it's a drink or a food, dinner time, after dinner snacks, in front of the TV, in front of a movie, a few bites before bed. It's 14 hours of an eating window every single day. And if you're eating all day long, your insulin stays high all day long. And when insulin is up, your body is locked in fat storage mode. It never gets a chance to switch into fat burning mode. That's why the next step up is rotational fasting, also known as time-restricted eating, where you're going to ease your body into curbing your consumption. So in plain terms, it just means eating your meals during a set window of time and giving your body a real break in between them. If you cut out the toxic foods in the previous steps, then your body is ready to heal. And rotational fasting makes possible. It also helps break your cravings, which makes the next step a lot easier. Now, just like cutting out toxic food, you just want to ease into this portion of it. The first place to start is just simple. Stop snacking. Just stick with 3 meals a day. Each day, only eat 3 solid meals, ideally removing many of the foods that we just talked about. No snacks in between. That one change alone lowers your daily insulin spikes. And then it begins to calm down your cravings of constantly needing food. And once you're used to that rhythm, you can begin to shorten your eating window. Now, that might look like this. Start with a 10-hour window. For example, you only eat between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and that's it. Nothing after that point. Give your body a chance to burn off those excess calories and get into fat burning mode while you sleep. Then when you're ready, tighten it to an 8-hour window. Say 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And this is where we start to bring in a concept that I like to call night fasting, where you finish eating around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock and you're letting your body do what it's designed to do, burn up that excess energy and burn up fat. You don't have to do this perfectly every single day. Even 3 or 4 days a week of night fasting makes a huge difference. If you start to feel comfortable with the fasting principles and easing into this, and you want to take things even a little bit further, you could try just OMAD, 1 meal a day. Or you could try fasting for longer periods, say going only liquids for 24 hours or 48 hours, or really crank it up and go to 72. But you just ease into these, and each week you maybe add a little bit more and a little bit more. That's rotational fasting. I have a video explaining all the different fasting strategies in much more detail. I'll include a link to that in the description below. Now, let's focus on the next baby step. One of the benefits of fasting is it starts to calm down your food cravings. That makes this next step a lot easier because now we can start upgrading the foods that you actually eat during your eating window. We already talked about which foods to start cutting out. All of those processed foods, refined carbohydrates, rancid oils, and artificial ingredients. Now it's time to improve the food that you actually put into your body. And here's the key. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to go from junk food to perfection overnight. You just need to gradually make better food choices over time, replace things from the pantry and the fridge over time. And in order to help with this, I created a little bit of a food ladder that you can use when choosing what to eat. Now, here's how it works. First, there's the avoid category. Foods that you want to stay away from. They overload your liver, they spike insulin, and they block fat loss. Then there's approved foods. It's a step up. These don't do as much damage. They don't have all the chemicals in them, but they also don't necessarily move you forward when it comes to fat loss. So there's a better and a best category. And these are the choices that start giving your body the support, more nutrients, less impact on blood sugar, fewer cravings. And if you get really high quality, like the best versions of some of these foods, they will work with your body at an optimal level to allow it to heal and burn fat. Every time you move one of those foods up the ladder, you make fat loss easier and more sustainable long term. You also reinforce your new identity as a healthy person with healthy habits. So let me give you a few examples. Like fruit, if you want to get yourself into fat burning mode, we want to avoid the fruits that are high in sugars, especially because they're high in fructose. Fructose can only be processed in the liver. So if we don't want to tax our liver, we want to cut out the fruits that are high in fructose. So during fat loss mode, bananas, grapes, dried fruits, fruit juices, they all flood the liver with fructose and flip the body into fat storage mode. So we'd avoid those to turn on fat burning, and we might move to more approved fruits like kiwis or tomatoes or grapefruits. And if you want to go even better, focus on your lemons, limes, Granny Smith apples, and I really love berries. Low fructose, very delicious. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, even avocados, which technically is a fruit. These are low glycemic, antioxidant rich. They're full of healthy fats to keep you satisfied. So you move from high fructose fruits to kiwis to citrus fruits all the way up to berries and avocados. So you can do this. Let's look at carbs and breads. We would want to avoid the processed, stripped down, literally the fiber is gone, the nutrients are gone, white breads, pastas, boxed cereals, rice cakes. They digest like pure sugar and they leave you hungrier 2 hours later. So we want to move away from those avoid foods and move towards approved ones. And that just might be whole grain wheat, the grain with the full fiber and nutrients attached to it. This would be brown rice with the full fiber attached, so they actually help to steady your blood sugar. They're way better than white rice at stabilizing blood sugar, but they still do raise the blood sugar some. So if we could go better or best, we would want more sprouted breads or sourdough or chickpea or lentil pasta. They digest way slower because there's way more fiber involved. And if we really want to optimize fat burning, the best version would be like cauliflower rice or zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash or bean noodles or beans and lentils instead of grains altogether, because that puts you more into fat burning mode. So there you can see, avoiding the processed grains, adding in real grains, or go grain alternatives to optimize fat burning. Let's look at beverages. We would want to avoid high fructose, high sugar beverages like sodas. We don't want the chemicals like diet sodas or flavored waters or energy drinks. Those are liquid sugars and artificial chemicals that confuse your hormones. What would be more approved is maybe switching to a sparkling water or something that's unsweetened like a coconut milk or an almond milk. They don't necessarily promote full-on fat burning, but they don't have all those sugars either. And then even better, we could switch to something like green tea or clean black coffee, which is actually going to support the metabolism and help you burn fat when you use it correctly. Or even the best, like we talked about earlier, adding in that lemon water, or maybe even bone broth to help out your gut and help it to detox. Or maybe there's some teas with liver-friendly herbs like milk thistle or dandelion. Those actually help the liver process toxins so that your body can let go of fat. You can move from the sodas and the flavored artificial drinks and move into less flavoring, less unsweetened, or green teas, coffees, lemon waters, and bone broths. You just move up the ladder and learn to find more beverages that you actually enjoy that don't sabotage your weight loss. Now, to make nutrition more simple and for easy to follow food lists and guidelines, not diets, guidelines that supersedes diets, grab a free copy of my book below, Livingood Daily. It has helped millions of people. I'm not kidding. It has a 21-day food guide and recipe guide in it in the back with a bunch of recipe. The book is free. You just cover the shipping to get it sent to you. It really helps to break that down and bring it all together for you. Okay, now that you've cleaned out the junk, given your body room to heal, started fueling it with better food, your system's finally ready to respond to exercise. And the easiest way to get started is with walking. Even something as simple as a 2 to 5 minute walk right after a meal lowers your blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. Or if you do it before your first bite of the day, the effect is even stronger. In that fasted state, right when you wake up, insulin is already low. When you walk, growth hormone can rise by as much as 300%, and your body naturally burns more fat. Walking at the right pace also matters. The fat burning sweet spot is called zone 2. If you can talk in full sentences while you walk, but you can't sing a song lyric without running out of breath, you're right in zone 2. That's how you can gauge it. Very simple way to know. That pace actually trains your body to use fat as its primary fuel source. And if you want to take it even further, you can add a little bit of weight. Just put 5 to 10% of your body weight in a pack. Try to have more weight on the front of your body instead of the back to support good posture. This is called rucking, and it can double the calories that you burn for the same amount of time in the walk. It also strengthens your muscles at the same time. So this is a good step, pun intended, before advancing. Once walking becomes part of the rhythm, you've got some exercise going, you're getting into a rhythm, you can then move to the next step, which is short bursts of high intensity body weight training. It only takes 10 minutes a day. Pick 3 movements: a squat, a push-up, a plank, a lunge, a jumping jack, whatever you can do safely. Do that exercise as fast as you can for 50 seconds, and then take a rest for 10 seconds, switch exercises. Do that for 50, take a 10-second break, and then do the third exercise. 50 seconds on, take a 40-second break. Repeat that 3 exercise set 2 more times for a 9-minute and 50-second workout, and you're done for the day. No equipment, no gym. You can do it anywhere, and you just got your workout in 10 minutes a day. If you do that 6 days a week, that's less than an hour of exercise a week. This kind of training sends a completely different signal to your body. Instead of just burning calories while you're moving, it spikes fat-burning hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, which break down fat and preserve muscles. Studies also show that growth hormone levels can surge by over 1,600% with this type of workout. That's a fat-burning switch that you'll never get from steady cardio, because not only are you burning during the exercise, you're going to burn for the next 24 hours after. Then when you're ready, you can advance to using weights, or what we call level 3 in our systems. And it's broken down in the book as well for you in the 10-minute workouts. When you add some weight and you add resistance to your high intensity, short duration workout, 10-minute workouts is what we call them. This is our level 3 10-minute workout. This makes the signal even stronger. So if you can add in a dumbbell or a kettlebell, a weighted vest, a small child, I'm just kidding. Each of these recruit more muscles, they boost your metabolism even more, and they make your fat burning engine run even hotter. So a guide is in the book, this video, which so many have been asking for, the baby steps of how you can just gradually make progress, not perfection. Just get a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Here's the part most people miss. All of that new strength and fat burning only locks in when your body recovers. And that doesn't happen at the gym or at your desk. It happens while you sleep. And if your sleep isn't optimized, you're leaving fat loss results on the table every single night. That's why I put together a full video walking you through the only proven ways to burn fat while you sleep. In it, I show you how small changes to your evening routine can flip your body into fat burning mode overnight and even boost results as much as 6 times greater. I'll include a link to that video here if you're ready to stack that advantage on top of these baby steps that you just learned. Click to watch it next, and I'll see you over there.